Hello and welcome to the first official YouTube video on the 11D1 YouTube channel. I'm 11D1 and this is going to be a World of Tanks replay review taken from my Twitch channel, the link to which you can find in the description below. This particular battle was taken from one of my Mark of Excellence grinding sessions that I was doing with the 277 and the M48 patent. This is one of which in the 277, of course. So yeah, this particular game was an encounter battle on Runeberg. So the first things I was thinking was, well, a city map. That's great because city maps are great for heavy tanks, even something like the 277, which is pretty much exclusively a city, or sorry, a heavy medium, a medium or heavium, whatever you want to refer it to as. It's nimble, it's fast, its gun is very much heavy-like. However, the mobility and I think kind of the armor as well. I mean, the armor is very nice if you know how to use it, but most of the time people can just go right through it, no problem. Due to the shape of the hull, which is kind of more of like a weird U shape and less of a piked nose, like the IS-7, for example. That tank is definitely much more beginner-friendly. Anyway, so as this is an encounter battle, we can see the T-54 Mod 1 rushing into the cap circle to put early pressure on it. Whether I think that's a good play or not, you know, is up for debate. I think they kind of are. I mean, that position there is questionable, is what I'll say about that. But yeah, so I kind of pull my attention towards that and see if I can get a free kill off the start. However, as we will soon see here, I have much larger concerns to worry about that will be facing me in the city here quite soon. The first of which will be the Badger. We also can see over in the F3 location that the Jagdpanzer 100, and soon following will be the T-57 Heavy, so I'm going to have lots of issues here. Especially because 3 out of their 4 tier 10s are pushed here into the city, whereas mine, one of which has already died because it was our Foch B who made the interesting choice to take a Take Destroyer up into the 9-0, which in my personal opinion is not what you should be doing, but it is what it is. So, at this stage, the pressure has been taken off the cap. They can't really reapply pressure because we have, you know, a lot of tanks at different angles. Making sure that they don't do that. I'm using the wreckage of this TS5 to make a side scraping angle that isn't super close, because the closer I am to them, the easier it is for them to make shots on my cupola, on my or on my hull, etc. Especially since they're very good hull down tank destroyers, particularly the Badger. They're starting to get pushed back, however, because we have some teammates over to my left-hand side doing some good work. So far, I haven't really contributed very much to this game. I've made some pretty questionable shots, all things considered. However, now I'm going to work with this Foch, who's making some distraction over there to try to get some tanks sent back to the garage here. So my biggest concern, obviously, is the T-57 Heavy. They are on the highest hit points. They're, you know, one of their tier 10 vehicles. They have a very punchy and very damaging clip. My Tiger II sacrifices his life to give me a shot at the Foch. I shoot somehow in between both of the top weak points on the tank. But no matter, because I do a little bit of a side-scraping maneuver and take him out. Now, we're still basically even on tanks. We're down 1, in fact, and most of them, they've swept the field because we pretty much only applied a couple of tanks over there, so that was definitely not anywhere near enough what we needed to do. And so it's my job now to try to put pressure on them here in the city before they, you know, collapse in on us from the field. I recognize that the T-57 Heavy is on his clip reload, so me and the T-30 make short work of him and the Jagdpanzer 100. However, we still, of course, have the issue of the mediums over in our, pretty much behind our spawn and in our base, going for the artillery and for rear shots on the rest of our team. So, for the most part, our T-30 is the only one defending this crossing of the Leopard, and both of these mediums have already made it into our base. So what I'm thinking is, well, if I can make a full loop behind, try to catch their Sturb S1, which is likely somewhere back here, and then I encounter, oh, there's an artillery there. Uh-oh. It gets the shotgun off on me, doing 400 damage. Definitely not something that I wanted to happen, but it happened nonetheless. Not much you can do about an artillery that decides to do something like that. As we can see, the Sturb S1 was not actually where I thought it was, and they're driving towards the position where I thought they were going to be. So that gives me an opportunity to get a free shot into them. I now want to move as best I can with my T-92 because they're still relatively healthy. Not that 1,000 HP is very much, but it's still something. And it can certainly make a difference if we play together in turning this game around for the better. So, as far as I know, most of the medium tanks left on their team are very healthy. So I have to play the distance game. I have to make sure that I'm using my armor to the best of my ability, using the cover of the buildings, and picking the enemy off one by one, because the worst thing that could happen is if I stay in the middle, or if I stay in one place at all, period, and let them come to me and swarm me. So what I'm thinking is the Sturb S1 was last seen moving over to you know, somewhere on this ridge line or over here. So I want to cancel them out and get one less gun off the playing field, because that's one of the definitely more damaging guns left on our team, considering the penetration and the damage. So making a flanking maneuver all the way to this side will be the best way to execute a fully proper loop. So I see the Sturb S1. I decided to shoot it first because that's what I saw first. There also happens to be a Leopard, however. I high roll on the Sturb, taking it out. The Leopard is caught out in the middle of the field in between me and the T-92. I put a shot in. T-92 is putting round after round, where while I'm putting some distraction on the Leopard, I finish it off. Beautiful execution by us there. Great job. So now it's down to a 2 versus 2, the TVP and the Progetto. So we got 2 auto-loading tanks, one of which is an auto-reloader, of course. So I definitely have to be careful about that, because that's very fast damage output. The TVP, somehow I missed my shot there. I'm not sure exactly whether that was a piece of rubble or something or other that really ate my shot there. But the TVP manages to only put 1 shot into our T-92, which is very surprising. It may have been 2, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But thankfully, they didn't kill the T-92 all the way, because I definitely need them with me in order to make some plays into the city. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of this battle, this is an encounter. So, putting pressure back on the cap, going full circle, I started here. I went down to the cap circle, dealt with people in the city. Then I came up the middle, had the encounter with the artillery, and now I'm making the full loop back now that I've taken up a couple of tanks in the field. So, as a result, we have come back to behind our spawn, because I'm imagining that their Progetto and their TVP, as they're very mobile and are probably not going to stay in one position for too much time. I can't speak English, obviously. Then they'll likely probably be looking to come back and put pressure on the cap as well. There's still 7 minutes left in the battle, so there's plenty of time for them to do whatever they want. But I figured I'm going to take the initiative. I'm going to go try to put pressure on the cap and make them come to me, because at this stage the map is very open from this location. There's a lot of different alleyways they could come at me with, and so I was kind of taking a gamble from where they would come from. I had a general idea of where the TVP was going to come from, because I had a feeling that they were going to chase us as they had seen our last spotted locations. The TVP's coming up behind. What am I thinking? Well, I probably should put pressure on them as they're coming towards me. They're going to try to go kill my T-92. They're going to succeed in doing that, obviously, because the T-92 trapped himself in a very poor location. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, but it happened. So I'm left alone in a 1 versus 2. What am I thinking? Well, I have no element of surprise anymore. They know where I am. The Progetto is only on 500 hit points, and they're coming from the middle. So I'm going to go take the opportunity to go single out the TVP and do as much damage as I can while they're not together. I hit a very clutch shot right there. I have no idea how that hit through the rubble, but I'm very lucky it did, because it brought them down to 666 HP. Illuminati confirmed. And now there is a Progetto. I put a shot into the Progetto, bringing them down also to a 1 shot. I am very lucky that they're rushing me by themselves. I think the TVP after killing the T-92 went on a clip reload. Either way, I just barely missed the ramming kill. It doesn't matter though. The Progetto misses their last few shells or bounces. The TVP also bounces me off my side, and they missed the last shot, and that is the game. So, very interesting series of events. I somehow managed to dodge, I think, almost 8 shells there, or bounce, and I end the game on 7,800 damage with 942 combined. So, very good result indeed. Alright, so taking a quick look at the post-game stats, we can see that that victory resulted in an Ace Tanker badge, along with Hand of God, Bruiser, Duelist, and Fire for Effect, as well as, of course, Radley Walters medal for picking up the 8 kills, the Steel Wall for 2,110 damage, blocked by my armor, High Caliber for the nearly 8,000 damage dished out, and the Top Gun, of course, as well, accompanying the Radley Walters. So, this was a 1,459 base experience game, which, you know, makes it pretty obvious as to why I was an Ace Tanker. And looking at the detailed report, we can see that I fired 26 shots, 23 direct hits, and 19 pens, so my accuracy wasn't too bad there. Even with a premium account, however, I obviously did lose some credits considering I was using a premium consumable, firing a pretty decent amount of heat rounds towards the middle and end portions of that game because I wanted to make sure every shot counted, all under 10 minutes. So that was a pretty decent battle, demonstrating the strength of the 277 when used properly, especially within a nice city encounter environment. And so yeah, I hope that helped you guys out in some way, shape, or form, whether it was informative and or entertaining. So that all being said, I thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know down in the comments below whether you hated it or whether you loved it. And drop a like if you did in fact enjoy it, and also consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're going to be releasing videos every week, so if you do like this kind of World of Tanks content and potentially other content in the future, be sure to subscribe to stay tuned, turn on those post notifications, and yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys all in the next one.